Thanks, Jamie. I just want to quickly ask you, it was brought up today that by your coach that you may be pretty good in shootouts. Is that a secret that you may have?
That's funny. I don't really know. I've only taken one shootout in my career in the OHL so far, and um, they've kind of given us a couple hints and things to look for when we go down, and I've just been trying to look at that and see and just go down with some confidence and see what opens up and take my opportunities. So nothing too special, but just try and simplify it and take what's given.
And Jamie, I guess I'll just follow up with, of all of the activities you guys did in that 14-day quarantine, was there one that was your favorite or that stood out the most?
I'd say the one that stood out the most was probably we painted Bob Ross. I think that's what it was. Yeah. So it was definitely I think it kind of maybe threw some of the guys off when we found out we were doing, but I think it was really fun team bonding experience, and you got a couple good laughs out of it, and a couple artists, painters on our team. So it was pretty cool to see the outcomes of all the paintings, and it was just a fun time.
Thanks, Kirby. And one for you, Jamie. Just your experience last year, obviously leading to gold, but just the loss to Russia in the prelims. What did it teach you going through that experience as a group, and how did you rally to be able to eventually have the medal around your neck when it was all said and done?
Yeah, I think that just really goes to show how many highs and lows there are in such a short period of time. I think that's really important in this tournament. You gotta realize that you're going to hit adversity regardless of what you're going through. So I think that's really important. We need to be able to rally back quickly from whether it's a loss or some sort of adversity. And I think that having maybe just a short-term memory, learning from it and moving on, and getting back with a positive attitude the next day, and just getting better each day, I think is really important. And so I think that's kind of what we did last year. And if we happen to go through adversity this year, I think we already have through hitting that 14-day quarantine. And I think we came out these last couple of days in practice, had good practices, learned a lot, and I think we're looking forward to moving into the tournament now.
Thanks very much, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Our next question is from Adam Cook with CTV News.
Hi, guys. I'm just wondering, did camp feel as long as it seemed from the outside? I mean, and how do you guys think you and your teammates kind of handled the whole thing with the shutdown? And are you anxious for just a change of scenery here?
Yeah, on my end, it's pretty much the exact same thing of what Docker just said. There were definitely points where it felt long, but to mirror what he said, Hockey Canada did a great job at keeping us busy, and just a good balance between keeping us busy and giving us free time to just maybe play Xbox with guys on the team, or even some of our friends back home, keep in touch. So I think that was one really important thing throughout the quarantine and throughout being in this bubble, is keeping in touch with family and friends, as well as continuing to build relationships with your teammates and staff and everyone at Hockey Canada here. So I think Hockey Canada did a great job with this, and like Doctor said, we're just looking forward to getting into a fresh hotel, kind of a fresh start, and looking forward to working towards getting a gold medal. So I think that's the goal. That's everyone's goal here at this camp and with Hockey Canada, and the players and staff are all going to do their best to try and achieve that.
Our next question is from Mike Moriarty with NHL.com.
Hey guys, Jamie, how does Byram complement your style and you his?
Yeah, I think it's Bo's a pretty special player out there. I think just in the exhibition games, where I think everyone could see what he could do on both ends of the ice. He was leading the rush, making things happen, and vice versa on the back end. So it's really fun playing with him. And I think, where we sometimes both like to jump up in the play, I think we're able to read off each other and make sure one hangs back. And I think, just being able to work the blue line together, and, it's just really fun playing with a special player like that. And, throughout the tournament, I think it'll be a lot of fun. And you know, I know I'm happy to be paired up with him because of the, you know, the caliber player he is, and you know, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Our next question is from Eric Stevens with The Athletic.
Hi, this is a question for Jamie. I'm curious, now that you're fully into Team Canada mode here, how much do the memories of having the gold medal being draped around your neck last year in the Czech Republic come to your mind right now? And is there pressure to try to defend on home soil this time around?
You know, I think for myself and everyone here, we're just really dialed in on focused on this year's team and this year's event. You know, obviously last year is really exciting, but it's a new group of guys, and you know, I think we're just all looking forward to getting our shot at the gold medal. So I think that obviously there are a lot of great memories, but at this time, I think you know, we're just focused on this group, this team, and working to, you know, develop and move forward into this tournament and put our best foot forward this year.
And to ask you a follow-up, what did you primarily do and focus on in between the time that you were drafted by Anaheim and then obviously entering the camp here? Because obviously there was no OHL to, you know, start up with, and you know, there were no other avenues of, you know, playing games to lock in on.
Yeah. For me, I think the biggest thing I worked on was probably just my the defensive side of my game. I think that was the biggest thing. I think anytime you come to a tournament like this, you know, you're going to have to accept a role and be able to, you know, do a good job at that role. And, you know, you're doing it for your teammates and the team around you. So you want to put your best foot forward. So I just wanted to make sure I was prepared for, you know, any role that I would be put in this year, you know, and so that was kind of the main thing that I did in between the draft and now is just really dial in on details and, you know, coming in with my best foot forward into this camp.
Was that working with BJ at all, or working with somebody else in particular?
Yeah. So I did some video with BJ. He'd send me games of players that I like to watch and kind of model my game after, and then we'd go over them. And then I also worked with Paul Ranger, who's a D coach in Oshawa. And so I did skates with him every week. And, you know, I learned a lot there too as well.
Our first question is from John Abbott with TSN Radio.
André, nice to see you again, and congrats to getting this point in camp and moving on to the real deal. And that's where I'd like to go with you. Just maybe you could share with us what your itinerary for today, and then what the next couple of days look like leading up to that pre-tournament.
John, we're going back at the hotel right now. We'll have our COVID test, and we'll finish packing our room. Most of it is done, but we'll wrap up and have a good meal. And we're heading to Edmonton and get in the quarantine from tonight for the next 4 days. So that's the schedule for today. And moving forward, in the quarantine, we'll do a little bit like we did in the last quarantine. Tomorrow will be a day off, well-earned day off for the player. They worked really hard in the last couple of days. We had long days. So they will have a good day off tomorrow. And the following 3 days, we'll have a good mix of workout and social activity. And for sure, we'll review a few things tactically on video and try to take advantage of the situation. But at the same time, we don't want to pack the schedule too much.
Thanks. And just as a quick follow-up, wondering what you're most looking forward to working on now that you have your group, you know, whether that's back on the ice ahead of those games or during those games, what are you most looking forward to work on?
You know, in the last couple of days, we touched a lot of stuff. We were fortunate to have a lot of time. Here in Red Deer and the city and everybody in Red Deer were phenomenal with us, and we had a lot of availability in terms of ice. So we touched on a lot on our special team and system stuff. So we really feel right now the energy of the player, the intensity is at its best. Really happy about the way the player are practicing. So now for us, it's to keep being even keel, keep working really hard and getting better every day. we touch the last 2 days on our forecheck. Heading out of the bubble will be a little bit forecheck neutral zone and forecheck in ozone, plus some ozone play. We want to have a possession of the puck. We want to work on our puck decision and different stuff like that.
Thanks very much, and safe travels tonight.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Our next question is from Brent Wallace with TSN.
Hey, Andre, how you doing?
Very good, yourself.
I'm very good, thank you. Filling in for the esteemed Mark Masters today. I just wanted to ask you, did you have a longer practice than normal today? Was there stuff that you just kind of alluded to, a lot of work? Was there something in particular you wanted to get done?
Yeah, we took advantage of the fact tomorrow we're going in quarantine. So we did a lot of things, took a lot of time to shoot out, working on our shootout, make sure we knew what was our plan before going in a shootout. So we did video prep yesterday on the shootout. We had shootout yesterday, shootout today. Those stuff are time consuming. Same thing for our power play. We had a 30-minute power play today and yesterday. So those are extremely consuming. So the practice for sex were about 60 minutes, but then we flooded and we went with those things where they are important, but lower pace, but we needed to go through those stuff. So detail like blocking shot with the sponge block, shootout and power play. So that's what we did after the flood. So those things are time consuming.
Did you have a surprise shootout star?
Surprise? That's a good question.
Do you have a secret weapon?
Yeah, Jamie Drysdale was pretty good. Bo Byram yesterday was really good. So you don't expect your defenseman to fill up the net, but everybody will be really surprised to know McMichael and Cole Perfetti were good in the shootout. I'm joking, but they were really good. So Q had a few goals today, so it was well spread out.
Last question. You just brought up McMichael. Did you just move him to center? And is there a reason why you switched him now? And will he stay there?
We did want to try a lot of guys at their front position. We all know those guys did not play a lot of games this season, so we did want to make them comfy at their front position. Mike's in London play center last year for us. The Word Junior play every position. I had a good chat with him yesterday. We fully expect him to play every position. He will have time on both wing and the center. I think Mike's is can do everything on the ice for me in the sense he can play against the best player. He can for sure play an offensive role. He can shut down. He does a lot of good stuff. So he's a really important player for us. So right now we're playing him with Perf and Krebsy. It's a really good line. We like that line. We'll see what will happen next.
Can you assess the play of Byfield so far in your camp?
I think Q the last 2 days was one of our best player out there. I like his compete level. I think he grow every day so far since the start of the camp. I think will be fair to say he had a tough start, but since then he got better every day. And again, today, one of the first comment the coach had at the end of practice is Q was really good today. His compete level and he get more and more comfortable and more confident. So happy about this progression. It's not easy when you're off for 7-8 months and you jump in the camp and you're bad for 2-3 days, or not bad, but you don't have the best start for 2-3 days. Everybody jumped the gun right away. Oh, tough start. Yeah. It's 3 days. Everybody has a day where you don't play as good as, but when it's the start of camp and you didn't play for 7-8 months, everything is amplified. But I think Q is just fine right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Our next question is from Mike Moriali with NHL.com.
Hey, Andre. Can you elaborate in what ways Drysdale and Byram complement each other so well on the back end? And as a part two to that question, I mean, you've coached a lot of good defensemen in major, junior, internationally. Where does that duo stand with regard to defensive pairings you've coached?
Okay. The second part will be I will need a little bit of time to think about it because it's not something I have on top of my head. I had a lot of the opportunity to be around a lot of good players. So, but that pairing is right up there for sure. What I like about them is their hockey sense. They can read off each other, and both of them can push the pace and create the offense, and both of them can defend really well. They're super competitive, both of them. So I think it's a really good mix, and they respect each other, which is important. So when Jimmy jump in the rush, Bo cover for him, or the reverse is true as well. So I think both of them has a lot to offer, and together they're a good fit so far.
Our next question is from Eric Stevens with The Athletic.
Yeah, hi, Andre. I'm sure that you've answered this question a couple of times already. I just haven't had a chance to ask you myself. But how do you think your players have handled the bubble situation with this unique extended camp? And in particular, how do you think they handled the situation when you had to shut things down and really not have anything for several days?
I think they were mind-blowing in a sense. They were phenomenal. We were prepared. We're talking a lot about adversity will happen, and those guys, when that happened, for sure they had too bad. But right away in the next 15 minutes, when we announced the situation, we asked for guys to create committee and to find solution, to have team activity or guest speaker or food committee or NFL pool or whatever. And the guys were, yeah, I'm up for it. Yeah, we'll do that. And everybody was hands on, and everybody had or all in on deck. And that was impressive. So can learn a lot from your players sometimes, and the way they react and with the energy they had. That was fantastic. So that was contagious, and I think that's why we went out. We went in that quarantine, and we went through with a lot of positive and a lot of energy, and we went out, and everybody was excited, but nobody was in a bad mood or checked out or whatever. So I think Hockey Canada handled it perfectly. I think everybody put, like I said, all their resource in the right direction, and that was great from the player.
Was it important? Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Rick.
Was it important to have the players and even the players and the coaches interacting with each other on a regular, on a daily basis or whatsoever? Or was there times when you wanted to kind of let players be by themselves?
Yeah, both. I think it was crucial to have communication, keep building the team chemistry and team having activity and communication and feel the group atmosphere. But as well, it was important for them to have their time. We did not want to build a schedule where they were busy all day. That was, they had a lot of time for themselves. They had even day off in the bubble where it sounds weird when you are in 14-day quarantine in your room, saying you need a day off, but needed a day where you do whatever you want and you can watch the TV or do whatever you want without having a schedule. That was important as well. So that's what will be our day tomorrow. I think the guys right now, they worked really hard. They're a little bit tired, a little bit banged up, which is normal. So tomorrow will be a well-earned day off for the boys. So I think that was really, really important.